Caitlin from Girl Scout Troop 17650, and today I'm going to be showing you some recipes that you can use Girl Scout cookies in. The first recipe we're going to be doing is a chocolate hazelnut parfait, which includes these Samoa cookies. The Samoa cookies are these crisp cookies that are covered in chocolate, coconut, and caramel. The other ingredients that we are going to be using is going to be 1.5 cups of refrigerated milk. We're going to be using half a cup of the refrigerated hazelnut non-dairy creamer. We are going to be using 1 package of instant chocolate pudding mix. We are going to also be using half a cup cracked Samoas and their Girl Scout cookies. And then we're going to be using 1 cup sliced fresh strawberries. And then lastly, we're going to use whipped cream. It is optional, but I'm going to be using whipped cream because it is really fun to use. So, to begin our cooking, first things first, we are going to be having fun with our Samoa cookies. What we are going to do is we are going to be smashing our Samoa cookies. Before you do this, make sure you have something like this, and make sure it does not have spikes on it. And go ahead and also put it in a bag so that the crumbs will all stay in here and they won't go across your floor. So you're gonna need only half a cup. So after you finish, go ahead and measure and make sure it is half a cup. So let's begin. And this is really, really fun. While you do this, make sure it is all crushed. Try to get all the big pieces crushed and so that they're not big chunks. Sometimes you may need to switch it if you're using something like this. Everybody has different preferences. If it works on a different side, go ahead and use it on the side that works for you. Just remember not to get your fingers smashed by this because it may hurt. Once you think that it looks good, go ahead and check it. You may be able to just sort of crush it with your fingers if they're a bit not so big chunks. And this one looks good to me. Look at all that. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to put that off to the side. We are not going to need that for right now. So what we're going to need next is this large bowl. We're going to need a whisk, but you may use a beater. That is exactly what I'm going to be using. We're going to need some milk. We're going to need that 1.5 cups of cold milk. We are also going to need the creamer. We're going to need half a cup of the creamer. And then the 1 package of the pudding mix. So go ahead and dump all that into your bowl. I'm going to go ahead and dump it in. You do not have to do it in order. As long as you have everything in there, you should be fine. Now, it's okay if you get some of this creamer in your milk because there's already cream in this, so it'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in that 1.5 cup of milk. I'll very carefully do this. And make sure you at least get it around 1 cup. And that looks good to me. We're not finished with that milk. I'm going to pour that in. And then we're going to get half a cup more. Let's see if I can find half a cup. Okay, there it is. after you get all that in, it may look something like this over here in this bowl. It may look something like this. So after you do that, go ahead and get your whisk or your beater in and start doing this. Keep in mind that while you're whisking or beating, that you need to keep it inside the thing, or else you're gonna be flinging things around your kitchen. You may need parental supervision if you are a kid, just to make sure you don't accidentally take it out. Try to get around the edges if there are stuff on the edges, but make sure to also, while you're turning it, make sure to also go around and around. And it should be good when you don't see any clumps and it looks really well mixed. You may need to do this for 2 minutes or maybe more. So the key to this cooking or baking is patience. And that looks like it should be enough. After you finish, go ahead and put this on a paper towel or something so that you don't get it on your counter. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab just a paper towel from this side. I'm gonna go ahead and rip it off. Put it right there for now. I'm gonna bring the bowl over here so it doesn't drip on the counter. And I'm gonna just lay it down here and just move it off to the side. So after you finish mixing this, you will put this aside for 2 minutes, or maybe more, depends, until it is soft set. Now just in case you don't know what soft set means, it means until it is a little bit thicker than what it already is. So while that is going to be sitting there for 2 minutes, we're going to go ahead and clean up our workstation, because who wants a messy workstation? After you have finished cleaning off your workspace, we are going to go ahead and jiggle this just a little bit to see if it has soft set. If it seems a little bit like a bouncy pudding to you, then I'm pretty sure it is going to be pretty good. So this seems like it's soft set to me. So we are going to go ahead and put it right here. Or we are going to need now 4 of these little plastic cups or whatever you guys are going to be. Then you're going to need a measuring tool, 1/4, and you're going to bring this over and you're going to scoop 1/4 of this pudding. You're going to scoop it and you're going to dump it right into each of these cups. Go ahead and maybe put it over this just in case some of the pudding tries to escape. Grab the next one, scoop it, and put it in. You may want to do this out of order and add something else, but I suggest going ahead and putting the pudding right at the bottom of the buffet. We just got 2 more left. You are probably gonna have a lot extra. Don't worry. You guys actually might want to use some of this just to eat because pudding is delicious. But also we are going to add a little bit more parfait to it. If you have a bigger cup, you can go ahead and add more layers if you want to of this pudding. Let's get that in a bit. So these are the 4 cups that I have right now, full of the chocolate pudding. Now you can go ahead and not waste things. If you have the chocolate on from your mixer or something like that, go ahead and put that on your paper towel. After you have finished with your pudding, your chocolate pudding, you're going to need 1 tablespoon, and 1 tablespoon is about this much of a handful, so about like maybe half. Go ahead and put that in each of your chocolate pudding cups. And then after you do that, we are going to top it with strawberries. gonna grab a couple of these. Go ahead and just toss them in if you like. You can put however many strawberries you want in it. I'll probably go around 4, so I'm gonna add 1 more to each one. And then we are going to add remaining pudding and crumbs. After you finish with that, you're going to refrigerate for 1 hour before you serve it. After you do that, you can add some whipped cream if you desire that, and then serve it and eat it and enjoy. So now that our pudding is in the fridge to set, we're going to be starting on our next yummy recipe. Our next yummy recipe is called a nutty caramel turtle. The Girl Scout cookie used for this one is called a tag-along. Tag-alongs are probably one of the most famous Girl Scout cookies. They are these peanut butter filled cookies with chocolate on the outside. The other ingredients that we're going to need are the 3 milk chocolate bars. I'm using Hershey's, but if you have anything similar to Hershey's, that's also fine to use. You're going to need to break them into 4s, just like this. I'm mostly using Hershey's just because they're pretty easy to break into 4s. After you've broken them into 4s, you can just leave them on the paper towel for now. Or whatever you have. The other ingredients you're going to need is 60 pecans. I always say pecans because that's exactly what it looks like it says. Me and my mom get in arguments about it all the time. And then you're going to need 12 caramels. So the first thing you're going to do before you even start baking or putting anything anywhere, you're going to preheat the oven to 250. After you preheat the oven, you're going to get a cooking sheet out, lined, and it should be lined with parchment paper. After you get all that out and ready, you're going to put each of your chocolate bars and put them onto the cookie sheet. Make sure they're about like 2 inches apart. You can estimate if you'd like to. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop each of these on here. After you've done the first row, you can go ahead and just sort of put them on the same line, sort of thing. Last one. Then after you do that, you're going to top each one with a caramel. Now we're going to bake these for 5 to 7 minutes or until the caramels just start to soften. Be careful. You might want a parent to do this for you or have a parent nearby just in case. I'm going to go ahead and just slide those on in. While the caramels. Every oven is different, but this oven is going to go for 6 minutes. It's in between 5 and 7, so 6 minutes seems good enough right now. So while that is baking, we are going to go over here and probably be bored. Now that our caramels and chocolates have come out of the oven, we need to put on our pecans quickly or else the chocolate will harden and it will be hard to put these on. So you just need to put them on just like this and try to do it as quick as you can. Hot. So do be careful. I found out firsthand that it is hot, the pan is hot. Stick them on just like this. These are the arms and that is the head. Then after you do that, go ahead and squish on your turtle's shell, which would be the tag-along. and you've made a turtle. We're gonna now set these aside for them to cool off, or they're gonna probably be still hot. But while we are waiting for those to cool, we're gonna grab our yogurt parfaits out of the fridge. Careful not to drop any. While those cool more, we're going to keep these out, and we're going to add some fun whipped cream. Go ahead and open this whipped cream up. There we go. Make sure to shake the whipped cream bottle before you do it. I am not the best whipped creamer. But I'll do my best. And you can add as much whipped cream as you like. And if you want to be fancy, go ahead and grab a full strawberry. Just stick it on with the whipped cream. Make sure there are no leaves in it. And then your yogurt parfaits should be finished. And now enjoy yourself a little